I'm so excited to be back with the She Can channel where we interview women from all walks of life and all over the world on their journey, how they got to where they are today. And I'm really excited to be talking to Jennifer Uchendu today. Jennifer, you are an eco-feminist and sustainable development advocate based in Lagos, Nigeria. You set up a youth-led organization called SustyVibes that really works at the intersection of climate change and psychological well-being. Your mission is to make sustainability cool and relatable in Africa. You're also an Ashok Fellow. Jennifer, tell us a bit about yourself and what you do in your own words, and really how you got to where you are today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's such a pleasure to be here, and I'm really excited to kind of share my story with your audience. So, as you mentioned, I am Nigerian. I started the work that I do at SustyVibes about 7, 8 years ago. I was really young, about 22, 23, just having a passion for sustainability and, in particular, environmental protection. I wanted to be able to contribute meaningfully. I wanted to do things, to plant trees, to help clean up, but not just as an individual. I also was looking for more opportunities to get people to do this, whether as organizations, whether as communities. And to be honest, I reached out to organizations to volunteer and all of that. And I kept getting, messages like, oh, you need a degree in environmental science. Oh, you need to have been qualified. And I was just an undergrad that has just graduated from biochemistry. So I set up my own organization. Another funny story, we started from a blog. It was just a blog of sharing stories that then became an organization. But really, SustyVibes, as you can hear from the name, is really about making sustainability exciting, actionable, and relatable for young people. As a young person myself, I really could put myself in the shoes of other young people in terms of what are our interests, how can we, combine our passion and energy to do things that are really meaningful to us. And doing this side by side the broader socio-economic issues we have in Nigeria was also difficult because people are like, why are you, picking plastics and cleaning up when people are hungry and all of that. So it was difficult, but finding ways to bridge the gap. And that's why I talk about making sustainability relatable. Sustainability, of course, is largely about the environment, but it's also about us. It's about our well-being. It's about our future. It's about prosperity and also financial, well-being. It's all incorporated in this idea of sustainability. And what we do at SustyVibes is to make this real for people so that they see, the big picture. A lot of people talk about that light bulb moment when we have encounters with them and they get to understand what we really mean by sustainability. So that's me in a nutshell, and that's the work that I do at SustyVibes.
Jennifer, and congratulations, and really thank you for your level of service. Jennifer, tell us quickly, really, what does SustyVibes do on a day-to-day basis? What are the programs or projects that you run?
Thank you. That's a very interesting question. 8 years now, and we've sort of transformed into a really dynamic organization. There are lots of young people in different communities leading different projects. So we kind of have different pillars through which we work. We have, for example, a team of young people who do a lot of work with education and sustainable development. So we go out to schools and engage school children on the SDGs, on sustainability, and teach them some practical ways to upcycle, teach them about solar systems and all of that. Again, making these things actionable and cool and exciting for them. We also have a team doing a lot of work in the eco-feminist side, so women and issues around the environment, so trainings for women, women empowerment initiatives that are also pro-environment, upcycling trainings, for example, and just ensuring that women are not just at the forefront of conversations, but they're also actively part of, the action when it comes to protecting the environment. We also have a pillar that is very big on climate change and mental health, which is where I have focused a lot of my energy recent years, doing a lot of research and advocacy on the intersection between climate change and mental health, because it's inevitable, right? For us who live in Africa, the impacts of the climate crisis are even more dear for us. We feel it on a daily basis. So it has both physical, financial implications, but also mental, emotional, and psychological implications. So I've been really interested through SustyVibes to explore that angle, particularly finding ways to build resilience in young people, that young people need to not give hope, give up, not give up, and sort of transform their fears to hope, transform that worry and powerlessness into action, basically. On the other side, we do a lot of work with pop culture and advocacy. So things like Susty parties, Susty movies, different sort of engagements for young people to come together and talk about these issues. Again, we make sustainability cool. So we find these avenues using art, using dance, using music to make sustainability exciting. And then finally, to bring it all together, our work is very based on community. So we have blocks of communities in different parts of Nigeria, now expanding to the diaspora, where young people are coming together as part of communities to do a lot of work related to climate change and sustainability. So yeah, that's the work we do in a nutshell.
Which is so inspiring, Jennifer. I'm wondering, what are your biggest challenges? What are your pitfalls and how do you overcome them?
Well, to be honest, I think a major pitfall or a major challenge is, finding funding, finding validation to do the work. A lot of times you really have these big goals, but people would be like, oh, these are just young people. This is just a young woman. Where's her experience and all of that? And then again, funding, before when we started SustyVibes, I didn't think we needed funding. I was just like, oh, it's all about passion. We just need to be energetic. But I've realized that these projects need to be done with the right funding mechanism. So that still is a big issue. Constantly crowdfunding, looking for support, looking for organizations that we can trust, who are making their profits ethically. That's also very important, right? And who can support us through and through. So yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for explaining that. Jennifer, what is your main motivator? You've been running it for 8 years. What is your main motivation going forwards?
Um, I think that my main motivation would be the young people that I work with, really seeing them also thrive and excel with the work that they do, has been really inspiring for me. Yeah, so seeing them go on to do their masters, get jobs, seeing that the work that I do is not only benefiting me but young people in general. So yeah.
Jennifer, and what would you say are your top qualities? What do you have that makes you so good at what you do? It's obvious that you have a lot of passion for this. What else would you say you have?
Definitely the passion. I think that has kept me throughout, in really tough times. And I would say some form of empathy, being able to just understand how difficult these emotions are, this work can be, and pushing through with the young people that I work with. I think that's a top quality that I strive to even improve in myself. How do I lead with care? How do I teach people, how to do things for the environment and also for themselves in ways that are nurturing and can build their own well-being? So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. So, what are you most proud of today, Jennifer?
That's a very interesting question. I'm really proud about proud of the work that we've done, at SustyVibes. It's been an interesting journey so far. There's been lots of validation, lots of recognition. I'm really, really excited about, the work that we do. But more importantly, seeing that the work that I've done has transcended beyond me. There are people who are doing way, even very exciting things as a result of just learning about SustyVibes, being in close contact. And I think that makes me really proud to see that our work, is expanding and it's impacting others day by day.
Jennifer, and what top tips would you give to young Africans who really care about sustainability, and sustainability really in a round form that you described earlier that pertains to all areas of young people's lives?
Wow, that's a very big, question. I think one tip that has helped me, and I would always say it, is the importance of relationships. A lot of things we can do on our own, but doing this sort of work around sustainability has a lot to do with community and relationship, building resilience. You do that through people. I've been very blessed to have mentors, to have friends, support systems, my spouse, who just understand that I'm really passionate about this work and I need to be supported, the best way. So I'll tell young Africans to find that sort of support system, and you can find them everywhere. I've found people through social media. I'll just write them a DM and begin to cultivate a relationship. It's a very core aspect of this work that we do. You can't do things on your own. People need to refer you, they need to reshare your story. You need that community, you need that sort of support system. It really helps because the journey gets tough along the way. Even if you have all of the right metrics and systems in place, there are still times where you're going to feel down, and you need people who can sort of raise you up, who you can learn from, who can also learn from you. So that would be my number one tip.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. What are your plans, goals, dreams for the next years?
Well, big question. I'm now very much interested in well-being, psychological resilience for our changing climate as we know it. I have sort of seen that people need to start building these sort of systems internally so that it can expand through community level. So I want to do more research on what that means, what it means, for example, to rest, what it means for well-being, what it means to slow down. I think it's really important to start to look at that. I think there's a lot of doing, there's a lot of things happening and emotion, and we're not making so much progress, right? Even worse, we're now in a poly crisis. So I'm really passionate, in the next couple of years to explore what it means to slow down, to rest, to do things a bit more slowly, and what that means for us, looking at more sort of indigenous and African ways of taking action and building resilience within community. I think that is sort of the new wave of what climate adaptation would look like, because the disasters will still keep coming. What are we going to do about it? Times where our money can't even help us in certain times. So how are we going to build the resilience to keep on going? So those are the things that I'm really interested in moving forward.
Jennifer, that's very exciting, and I'm really excited to watch this space, see what's going on. We will put a fundraising link in your bio here alongside this interview. My last question would be, who are your role models? Who are you really inspired by?
Big question. A very big role model to me, I tell her a lot, is Amina Mohammed, who's currently the UN Deputy Secretary General. She's Nigerian, she's a woman, and I've literally kind of watched her growth and followed her. And it's a big, big inspiration to see what, literally the sky is no limit. It's your starting point to what you can do, particularly in your career, and also having a family life that's thriving side by side. Oftentimes we're told that one has to suffer for one and whatnot. So I've seen her do that, really good, and it's been really inspiring. I take a lot of motivation also from my late bishop. He's late now, but he really helped me and instilled a lot of values in me from my Christian faith and all of that. So he's a big role model to me. God rest his soul. Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to me today, Jennifer, for telling your story, which is a very powerful story. And congratulations on everything you've achieved and everything you are going to achieve. And thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you. Thank you. Such a privilege. Thank you so much.